everybody, it's Jasmine, and in today's video we're going to be doing a full face of SheGlam by SheIn. I'm really excited to deep dive into this full face, so let's go ahead and get started. I know some people get really scared when they try new brands, but honestly, SheGlam I'm kind of excited for. I've heard pretty good things about them so far, but a lot of the times they were sponsored videos, so I wanted to actually just go in full force, test things out. Of course I don't have a full face, so wherever I lack, I'm just going to pull some things from my collection to just use. So we're going to start off with primer. The only primer that I have right now that I'm trying to use up is the Juno Moonshine primer. This is one of my holy grail primers, and I feel like a little bit goes a very long way. So with this one, it's been just taking me a little bit longer to use up. On the website, they actually sold a foundation that was in a tube, but honestly, I just knew that if I bought a full-size product, I wasn't gonna use it up. So instead, I opted for the option where you could buy 3 samples for $1. So I picked 3 different shades. I have Honey, Nude, and Sand, and this foundation is called their Complexion Pro. It's a long-lasting breathable matte foundation, and I thought, you know what, even if I don't get the full size, at least I get to try it, and if I do like it, then I will just go back to buy it. So this shade here is Nude, which kind of already seems like a pretty good match already. But we're just gonna swatch the other ones as well, just so it's fair. The next one that we have here is Sand. That one could work too. This one is turning a little bit more peach, while this one is staying definitely more yellow, which is what I prefer. Okay, and then now we have the last shade here called Honey. Honey is looking a little too neutral on me in person, but I don't know, I feel like I could get away with all 3, but I think Sand is definitely where I'm going to be gauging this look. Now, instead of wasting the foundation because I already primed my skin, I'm just gonna take my sponge and just wipe off my finger and then just blend this in, and then for the whole face we're just gonna do Sand. Wow, just that little bit that I had on my chin there, it already covered this half of my face. That's nice. Okay, let's go in with more foundation. Here's what I could tell you based off of my first application here. The texture of this foundation is very lightweight, but it offers a solid medium coverage right off the bat, which is really nice. I think we could all see here that my skin also has a beautiful glow. I really do like this shade on me. I think it works really well with my neck. And it really does cover my redness, especially from my pimples. So you know what? So far so good. Here's one full layer of foundation on my face. Honestly, not bad. There's no fragrance or anything to this foundation. It seems like it's a formula that I really enjoy, just very lightweight, has that nice soft dew to the skin but not excessively dewy and wet, and I also like the coverage of this right off the bat. Now I do want to see how well it builds up, so just where my little pimple is here, I'm going to build up in that area. This foundation also seems like it's staying true to color. It's not oxidizing, which is good, and it also builds up pretty well. Not too bad, not too bad. Like the way that looks. We're off to a really good start. I'm really excited. Now we might ruin it with concealer because I think I picked out the wrong shade. I picked out Madeleine in their concealer. Now this one's just called their SheGlam 12-Hour Full Coverage Concealer. This is really light, but it's okay. We'll see how far I could stretch the color. So I'm only gonna do a little bit under the eye if I need more for brightness, and I'll definitely add more. But I'm just going to put this in my normal concealer areas, which is this. This is definitely one of like those thicker full coverage concealers, just based on how it's blending out for me. And I feel like because the color is so light, it's really easy for me to see where it's going and how well it blends out. Honestly, not that bad, not too shabby. I think applying a little bit was a smart decision for me, because if I had added any more than this, then we might have had an issue with cakiness, because you could definitely spread this out very well. just look, just a small amount was able to really brighten and lift this side. So keep that in mind. So far, it's looking really good. My skin's looking very smooth, but then again, my primer that I used today is a super smoothing primer, and also it's a hydrating primer as well if you've never used the Juno Moonshine. So I'm not quite sure if it's like just the combination of everything helping it blend all together, or if it's actually the formula of the foundation and concealer on the skin. All right, I'm gonna give you guys another turn here. This is with foundation and concealer. It's looking really good. This is really nice. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is brows. They had a lot of brow options, but quite honestly, I just stuck to a slim brow pencil. So this is called their Skinny Brow Pencil. It doesn't say on here, but I'm usually a dark brown, so if the dark brown was the option, then this is the color. If not, I probably chose the darkest one available because my hair is black. So we're gonna just go in with this pencil here, and the way I fill in my brows is I always line it from the middle going down the arch, and then I will just bring it almost all the way in, not quite because I blend it out with a spoolie, and then I will just fill in the top of the arch here. And the reason for doing that on me personally is because I like having an ombre brow where it's darker in the outer tail and then it's lighter in the inner portion of the brow. Then with the spoolie, I'm just going to blend out the color and fade it toward the front. This color is actually pretty nice. It's not too warm on me, but it's definitely not a cool tone color. I would definitely say this is more of like a neutral brown because you could definitely see the warmth coming through on my skin. But you know, that's a solid brow. It really is. This brow pencil is actually pretty nice. It's definitely not too waxy, but it's definitely not too stiff to the point where it will just break. So far, so good. No complaints, which can be a good or bad thing, kind of just depends how you take reviews. But you know, if things work out for me, then it's like I spent my money well and I don't have to throw anything out or waste anything. Here are the brows completed. I didn't even go in with concealer to carve out my brows yet, and my brows are looking real sharp. I do have to say that the color is just a little bit warm, but it's definitely doable. It's not anything crazy, but that's just how it is. So I am gonna go in with a little bit of concealer. So what I do is I just take a small dot right beneath my brow here, and then I will take a concealer brush to just clean it up a little bit. I'm also curious, have you guys ever used SheGlam? Do you have a favorite product here? I just want to know. Let's get the conversation started. I have always been intrigued by it, but honestly, it took me a very long time to freaking bite the bullet and actually buy everything, because there have been times where I purchased something for a full face of makeup and a lot of it didn't work out. So we're talking about like the Kiko Milano video I did like 4 years ago, the full face of Joa Beauty I did like 3 years ago, and a lot of the times like I just feel like I had wasted my money. I didn't buy any powders, so I'm going to go in with my Shop Missy banana powder, and I'm just going to set my under eyes with that. Quite honestly, I have a lot of powders in my collection, so that's probably another reason why I just didn't purchase any. So I'm just going to set this under my eye, and then I'm just going to take a very little bit and toss that on top of my eyelid. There were so many palettes to choose from, so it was really hard for me to actually pinpoint a palette that I really wanted to work with. So I settled for the Seafoam palette, and this is a 9-pan palette with some beautiful aqua teal shade Seafoam shades, and also some other variants of duochrome. So I thought we could do a fire look with this. Why did I stutter? Am I nervous? Maybe. I also didn't buy any brushes from their website because I don't need any more brushes, to be honest with you. I have a lot. But in today's video, I'm going to be using my Alter Ego 8-piece brush set to blend in my eyeshadow. I'm gonna start off with Sea Algae, which is such a cute name. Honestly, one time I was in Yosemite and we were trying to cross the little river and I had slipped on some algae and I broke my toenail, and that was honestly the most traumatic experience I think I've ever had in my life. So now I don't step in rivers or any type of body of water. Actually, that's a lie. I'll go into the ocean, but like only waist deep. I'm scared. I'm scared of the ocean. Although this is a pastel, this is actually showing up pretty well. This is only my second layer on my eye and it built up really, really well. You know what I've noticed? I've noticed that some of the most bomb pastel formulas are sometimes from brands that you really don't expect it to come from. That's just the trend I've been seeing lately. Wow, this is just Sea Algae on my eyes, 2 layers, that's it. This is already really, really cute, but I'm gonna go ahead and deepen it up just a little bit, and I think the most reasonable shade for me is Grotto here. I'm just tossing this into my crease just a little bit lower so that we have a little bit of extra dimension in the eye look as well. And then don't forget to wing it out if you like to wing it out. I love cat-shaped eyes. I don't know, it just makes my eyes just look a lot better. I say that all the time, but it's true. It really is. It makes my eyes just stand out a lot more than it actually does. I'm going back with a little bit more of Sea Algae and I'm just going to blend the edges. As you see, the blue Grotto shade just made this look a little bit more intense. Very pigmented, like no patchiness whatsoever, and we were working with some pastel mattes at that, and it just looks really, really amazing. So what I think I want to do, I might want to do just like a half cut crease moment to kind of give it more of an ethereal look, because some of the duochromes in here are very pretty. I'm mostly eyeing this one called Bartender. This one has like the best shift to it. I love this. It feels very reminiscent of a Super Shock shadow, like more of like that room temperature putty feeling. So I really do like that. I also really love Margarita down here. Like a soft blue shimmer. Love that so much. It has a gold shift, and then this one here literally just has all the colors that you see for the duochrome in itself in like a little pattern, and that is going to give you that brown and blue shift that I absolutely love. I love those type of duochrome shades. So I have them swatched on my arm that, you know, you can't see. God, I'm the worst. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just cut my crease real quick and then I'll figure out what shades to use. I'm just gonna take a small concealer brush. I'm just going to grab a little bit of concealer at a time, and I'm just going to pat and create that half moon shape. So this is what it should look like. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and wing it. So I think for my base, I'm going to take that Margarita shade because I think it's going to look really beautiful with the blues that we already had. And I'm hoping it packs on well with the brush. I just need to hold the palette. This formula is definitely more on par with the ColourPop Super Shock formula, so just trying to grab it with the brush is a little bit more difficult than just using it with your finger, but I'm really trying to get all up in that crease area just to fully coat everything. And then we're going to take Bartender and we're going to put that into the inner half of the eyelid just to make it a little bit more bright, a little bit more ethereal, and then I'm going to take that into the inner corner as well. I'm just going to go over this with my finger. I think just because of the formula, I don't think that this is going to be like a fully solid cut crease, which is totally fine, that's okay. But you get the essence of it. Eyeliner and lashes will definitely make the eyes pop a little bit more. So I have here a brush tip eyeliner, and this one is called the Hold Live 4 eyeliner. The tip is super, super tiny. Really, really love that. It's actually quite pigmented as well. Okay. Boom. The eyeliner looks really, really good. Honestly, not my favorite eyeliner, but it works really well for what it is. I'm starting to question if this is actually a brush tip because the tip itself is already starting to fray, which only normally happens with felt tip eyeliners for me personally. But I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye and just see what's up. The eyeliner is super precise. I really do like that. I love the way my wings have turned out, and although I'm not 100% satisfied with this eyeliner, I'm still going to use it until it's gone. I'm almost done with the eyes, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to finish off my lower lash line before I do mascara and lashes. Now I'm going to go in with my navy blue eyeliner from Marc Jacobs. This one's in the shade Overnight, and I'm just going to line the bottom waterline just to add some more intensity to the look. So I'm just going to look up into my mirror and just drag it down. I'm only going to do about like 2/3 of the way in. Then on a pencil brush, we're going to grab the shade Grotto, which is that darkened blue. And again, I'm just going to look up into my mirror and I'm going to blend this onto my lower lash line. This is just going to be a little bit lower than where we applied the eyeliner. And then on my big blending brush, we're going to take a little bit of sea algae and we're just going to do a quick dust right under the eyes just so that there's a little bit of blend. Eyeshadow is done, so let's go into some mascara. Now I bought the brand new mascara that I've seen everyone rave about. This one is called the All-in-One Volume and Length Mascara in the shade Black. So on one side you get more of like an hourglass shape wand, and then on the other side you do get a curved one, and they're both different. So this one is more of like a plastic one and the other one is more of like that plushy one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna do one on each side just so you guys could see and compare. I'm gonna get real up close for you, just so you could see my itty bitty lashes. Honestly, I've seen a lot of influencers create some sponsored posts featuring this mascara, and is that the reason why I bought it? Possibly. It could have definitely influenced me to purchase this myself, but I'm hoping that it actually is as good as it claims, or I'll be very upset. So this is going to be the curved plastic side. There's a lot of length, not a lot of volume. And then here we go in with the other side. This one to me feels like there are fibers in here, so it's obviously going to lengthen and really thicken up the lashes. Kind of hard to tell which side I like better, but I'm just gonna show you. This is what it looks like. I know I have eyeliner on, so it's hard to tell, but I wonder what it's like to build it up on both sides. So I'm gonna go in with another coat on this eye. I'm gonna just take another, what is this, swatch? And I'm just gonna build it up just to see if maybe this is what it's intended to be used as. I'm not fully convinced on the mascara, quite honestly. I think it's definitely something I would skip, but we do have some lashes. I already used 2 of them. So here is the style here. It's called Never Flat, and it's the Mega Volume Multi-Layered Lashes. This is what the style looks like. A little bit dramatic in the packaging, but on the eyes, I don't think it looks as dramatic, but that's just me. Alright, here we go in with the lashes. I'm just going to apply them with my fingers. I just apply it in the outer corner first. I secure it, and then I go in to the middle and then the inner corner. The glue that I'm using is the Shop Miss Black Eyelash Adhesive. And there's what it looks like on the eyes. Not as dramatic as it seems in the packaging, but still quite dramatic. Eyes are complete. These are really cute lashes. I think it ties in the look effortlessly. Looks really, really pretty. So now we're gonna go into the face. Now, I feel like I was a little bit tricked because the moment I opened this, I kind of realized that it kind of looked a little bit different on the website. So I'm going to show you the bronzer and the blush because they both look the same. So here's the bronzer. It comes off very shimmery. It's not a matte bronzer. And this one is the number 202 Affectionate Coffee. And then the blush is this one. And this one is called their Lightweight Matte Blush in the shade Blissful. This is what it looks like side by side. Very similar in tone. It's just the fact that one's a little bit more like brown orange and the other is just a little bit more peachy orange. I'm gonna go ahead and use these ones by itself if I need. I'm gonna go ahead and use these ones by itself, and if I need any additional help, then I will reach into another product. But we're gonna just go into straight with the bronzer. It's definitely an interesting shade because this is definitely a shade I would use as my blush already, because it's very similar in tone to like my MAC my MAC Trace Gold blush. So to me already this is like, oh, it's a blush shade, but to have it labeled as a bronzer really throws me off. So that's the reason why I'm not like completely satisfied, but I mean, I think with the look it'll come together. You know, I always make it work. It just looks like it comes off a little bit pink on my skin, in all honesty. Maybe because I'm just so yellow, it just comes off pink. You could definitely see that right there, which I'm okay with, you know, because I'm definitely going to keep this and I'm definitely going to use it as a blush because my Trace Gold from MAC is running out and it's discontinued. So of course I'm going to keep this, but it's just not bronzer material for me personally. Now we're going to go straight into the blush. The blush does look very, very pretty. Do like that. I like how there's like barely any fallout with the powder products in general. And I'm just going to apply that right on top of the bronzer, but I'm really going to focus this more towards this upper area here, the upper cheekbone. And why does this have a lot more pigment than the bronzer? Because to me, I feel like usually bronzers are more pigmented than blushes. But yeah, very cute still. I think it's a little bit too pigmented for this look, dare I say, but it's cute, it's cute. Now, I purposefully did not buy a highlighter because I have one too many highlighters and I just don't need another one. It's very rare for me to even hit pan on a highlighter, so I just skipped that notion completely and entirely. So the highlighter that I'm going to be using is by Real Her and it's the shade Keep Going. I was considering using some of the shimmers that were in the eyeshadow palette, but I didn't realize they were duochromes online, and then when I got it in person I was like, okay, well, duochromes on my cheeks never really look that amazing, so we're just gonna opt in for a regular highlighter. And look at my skin glisten. Very cute, super, super shiny and glistening, kind of like the ocean. We're down to our final product, which is a lipstick. Now they had a lot of reds, they had a lot of pinks, and I was just in the market for a nude because I knew I was gonna buy the green palette. These are one of those fancy lipsticks that just pops out on the bottom. Now this one is just called their Fearless lipstick, and this one's in the shade Milk Tea. This one's still kind of pink. I just feel like a lot of brands don't come out with true nudes, which is fine. I just want to see how this color looks like on me. The color I'm not 100% in love with, but the formula is very, very nice. I think this is the closest in formula to the MAC Powder Kiss lipstick formula. It's more of like that velvet soft finish. I really do like that, but I think in contrast with the blue eyeshadow, I kind of feel like I look like Barbie a little bit. I don't know, I'm just not a huge fan of pink nudes just in general, especially when I have a blue eye. But we are just going to keep it for the sake of this video, and I'm just going to zoom you guys out a little bit and share with you guys some of my full thoughts and review of everything that I use from SheGlam. Alright you guys, this is the completed look. I hope you guys all really enjoyed. Now let's go ahead and talk about some of my favorite products as well as some that I definitely think is skippable. So I definitely think everything up until the mascara is definitely something I would recommend. The foundation feels really nice on the skin. It does feel like you are wearing foundation, like that dewy foundation texture when you are touching your face. But if you can get past that and you are looking for something that is dewy, then you will like this foundation. I like the formula of it where it starts off medium and then you could build it up. I also really like the brow pencil itself. It just seems like it's that perfect formula for me where it's not too waxy. I don't have to spend too much time building it up, but also I don't have to spend too much time blending it out because it's too pigmented. It's genuinely right in the middle. I really do like that. Eyeshadow palette kind of just blew me out the park. Blew me out of my room, off the balcony, into a lake. It really just did something to me. I really do love how everything just performed. I do have to say though, these shimmers are very soft and quite putty-like, so you're best off just using your fingers like I did, or you could just use a really sticky base underneath and then use the brush and then go in that way. I felt like with the concealer on my eyes as a base itself worked pretty well. I don't think it was the best situation for my eyes, but for the face itself, I love the way that it looks. I'm definitely going to be keeping it. Now the items that I feel like I am not going to repurchase are definitely the lashes. There's nothing wrong with the lashes. It's honestly just the fact that these are not my personal favorite style. They do look really good, don't get me wrong, but it's just a style on me. It's not something that I would necessarily gravitate towards. And also I feel like I have some other lashes in my collection that I feel like fit me better and are a little bit more flexible than these. These are quite flexible, but I feel like when you're spoiled with using so many good brands of lashes, you're kind of a little bit more picky, right? And I also feel like the mascara, she needs a little bit of extra love. I need to figure out when it gets better because sometimes mascaras get better through use. So maybe it'll just perk up in the next couple of weeks. And then finally, the last item that I definitely think I could skip out on is the lipstick. The formula itself is really nice, but the color is just something I am not loving. I like it, but not a love. As far as the bronzer and blush, I love the shades, so I'm obviously going to keep them. I'm going to keep the bronzer as a blush like I have mentioned before, and honestly, I'm quite impressed. I am very, very impressed. I believe I spent maybe less than $40 for this full face. Everything to me was quite affordable, and I think the most expensive thing in this bunch here was the palette, and I believe it was around like $9 or $10 if my memory serves me correct, and then everything after that was around like $4. So I feel like I got such a great look for not a lot of money, and quite honestly I am excited to use more SheGlam. I am. So in the comments, let me know what you guys think of this look, and if you guys have tried SheGlam, would you want to try it now that you've seen this video? Let me know your thoughts. I would love to know because I'm nosy. As always, I love you all so much, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye! Peace out, Girl Scouts.